Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here today to do my April wrap up. Yes, it's the middle of May already, and I haven't posted a video in a really long time, but basically I got sick last weekend from my COVID vaccine, which I'm super happy to finally be vaccinated, but I was really sick over the weekend. I meant to make a vlog for the readathon that I hosted with the Bookaholic, but I was way too sick. I only got one clip done, so that didn't happen. I meant to do a TBR for the Maysian Readathon hosted by my friends Stasia and Elle, and I will link them below and that Insta page for the readathon, but I don't know if you can hear that siren. It's probably definitely ruining the video. Okay, it's finally gone. So I will link the Maysian Insta page down below, but I'm basically just gonna do a vlog for that, and I'll tell you my TBR and everything in the vlog when it comes out. But basically this month, or last month of April, I read a ton, and looking back on it, it doesn't feel like I read a ton, but I was reading so much, and a lot of the books I read were really huge, so like take that into account, that a lot of them are like 600 pages, which could have been like 300 page like average size books. And I also discovered audiobooks. I got Libby and I got a library card from my local library, and I checked out audiobooks through Libby, and I listened to a ton of audiobooks, and I had a really good month. And I'm going to talk about all the physical books that I read first in order that I read them, and then at the end I'll talk about the audiobooks. But please stay for the audiobooks because there were some really good ones. And if you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video, and I'll get started. The first thing that I read was a manga that I got for my birthday, and that is Wotakoi, Love is Hard for Otaku by Fujita. And this is a manga about basically two couples that all of them are like really weird and nerds for certain things. Like some of them are big video game nerds or anime or manga nerds, and they're all just trying to figure out how to have a relationship while being very weird and awkward. It looks so cute, so I was so excited going into it. But I don't know why I didn't expect them to be really weird, because they are, and that's the whole point of the book. But I liked it. I gave it a 3 stars. I'm definitely gonna get the other ones, and the cover is just so cute, and I really like the main couple and the other couple as well. It is very sexualized at parts. I think it's just kind of cute, like talking about, oh, like in anime I like this body type, but like this person is completely opposite of my type. But if you aren't really gonna like people talking about people's bodies and a lot like that, you probably will not like this. But it wasn't too much for me. I thought that it was fine. And I found out that there's an anime for this. It's not dubbed, but it is subbed on Amazon Prime. So I started watching that too, and it was really cute. So I definitely will be continuing on with these books. I think there's like 4 in total. So yeah, I gave this 3 stars. Then I read From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which everyone was reading that month because the new book came out, and I loved this book so much. I was really drawn in. I did not expect to like the politics and kind of world building as much as I did. That was honestly maybe my favorite part of this, and I also loved the love interest Hawk. He was just amazing, so well written. I really liked Poppy. I just really enjoyed this book. It is kind of slow, but once you get towards the end, things start getting insane, and it really picks up. So if you're reading it and you're about to DNF it, please don't. I'm begging you, because it gets really good at the end, and everything changes. It is very good. I loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5, and I jumped right into the next one, which was A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout as well. And I also gave this a 5 stars. I really liked it. I really liked Poppy and Hawk, and the character Kieran I love so much. Honestly, I really love like the main couple, but I love Kieran so much. He's probably my favorite character. When I heard that she's doing a spin-off series, I thought it was going to be about Kieran, and I was so excited. And when I found out it was about like the gods in the past, I was like, oh, okay. But I really enjoyed this. I gave it a 5 out of 5. So then I took a break from the series. I think A Crown of Guild and Bones had come out by then, but I wanted to read Crooked Kingdom before the Shadow and Bone series came out. And I also love this as well. I gave this a 5 out of 5. It was a really good reading month for me. I just loved how thick this is. I don't know, compared to Six of Crows, it was like bigger. So I just was so happy to get so much more content with all of these characters that I love so, so much. It is so good. I really enjoyed Shadow and Bone, and I think that you should read them if you want to get into this universe, because I think the magic system would be pretty confusing, in my opinion, if you started off with just Six of Crows, but a lot of people do it that way. And if you're not going to read Shadow and Bone, please read the Six of Crows duology, at least, because it is so, so good, and I love the characters so much. Yeah, I'm so happy with it. And I did mail the series to my friend Taylor to force her to read it. And she went out and she bought the Six of Crows series too. And she's reading it right now. So I'm super excited to have forced it onto her and make her love this series as much as I have. But the last one that I finished in April was Happiness, the first volume. I was really excited for this, mainly because of the cover. It was really, really pretty. And some of the inside art was really pretty. This I liked a lot. And other from that, I did not enjoy it at all. I did not like it. It is about like a boy, I guess he's in high school or like middle school, and one of the overarching themes is like him dealing with his sexual desires and thoughts and everything that comes with puberty, which I understand as a theme to be explored, but it just was kind of creepy to me and almost like overbearing on the whole thing. And he gets bit by a vampire, and then he starts like getting attracted to all the girls in his school's like period blood, and it was just really weird for me. The panels are quite large, I guess, and I read this in like 20 minutes, which I usually read manga in like an hour, maybe. Like, it was very, very fast compared to the normal one, and that combined with the fact that I didn't really enjoy it at all. I do not think I'm going to be reading any further in this unless I find it at like a library or something. I might give it a try, but I gave it 2 stars, and honestly, that's just because the cover is beautiful, and I'm glad I have the cover, but I did not really enjoy this book at all, so I gave it 2 stars. Now I will talk about the audiobooks that I read. So the first audiobook that I ever listened to was Whisper Man by Alex North. I picked this one because I know that Noel Gallagher said that this is a very good audiobook, but this was so good. I gave it a 5 out of 5. It's a thriller, it's multi-POV, and the POVs are like, you get a POV of a new detective, and you get a POV of a seasoned detective who's dealing with alcoholism, and then you get the POV of a father who's having trouble with his son, and then you get the POV of the son, and then you get the POV of the murderer, the serial killer. And so it's a lot of really different points of view, and I think the author does them all so well. It was really exciting, really intriguing. It definitely had me trying to read it as fast as I possibly could, or listen to it as fast as I possibly could. It was really, really good. I would highly recommend it on audiobook or not. I gave it 5 stars. The next book I listened to was Infinite Country by Patricia Engel. I gave this a 4 star, I believe. It was really, really good. It was a multi-generational story about a family that immigrated from Colombia and ended up getting separated, and so now some of the family had moved back to Colombia, some of the family still lives in America, and trying to reunite them. And it really talks a lot about immigration and what you identify as your home. It was just such a good book and really gave a lot of insight into the process of immigrating. And I think a lot of people in America don't really see these sides of things. I'm just trying to talk a lot about something that I can't even put into words, but it was really, really good. I really recommend it to everyone. It was super short too. I know the book's very short, and the audiobook I think is only like 8 hours. So I highly recommend listening to it. The next book that I read was City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. I really like this author. I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by her, and I absolutely loved it. It was one of my favorite books of 2020. So I've heard a lot of good things about this middle grade series from her, and I enjoyed it. I gave it a 3 stars. The audiobook I didn't enjoy as much because the person narrating it was almost it was very dramatic in her voices for the different characters, and it was almost a little overboard for me. But I recognize that it's a middle grade book, so then it's probably being catered towards middle grade listeners, and that would make it more exciting for them to listen to. So I think it's totally fine. I probably will just read the rest of the series in the physical form, so I don't have to listen to the narrator, and I think I'll like it a lot better that way. But I gave it a 3 stars. It's about a girl who can see ghosts, and her parents are paranormal investigators that have a show where they go around and look at haunted places, but she can actually see ghosts, and she has a ghost best friend, and it's really, really cool. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a really sweet story, and I'm definitely excited to read the next ones in the series. The next book I read was Akata Witch by Nnedi Okorafor, and this book was so good. It is like a African-based version of Harry Potter, which I know a lot of people get upset when you compare things to Harry Potter and say like Harry Potter didn't invent all these things and it's so much better than that. But this book draws so many things from so many parallels with Harry Potter that it's kind of impossible to not say that it's very Harry Potter inspired, in my opinion. But basically it follows a girl who is albino and she's living in Africa. She grew up in America, and she gets together with this gang of kids, and she discovers that she has these powers, and she is a leopard person, and her parents are not leopard people, so she never knew what this world is. So she gets introduced into this world, and there's this secret location which is kind of the city for leopard people, and there are juju knives that you can use to perform magic, and the juju is the name of the magic in this world. And as you can see, there's a lot of similarities to Harry Potter, which I think is a really good thing if people want to read something Harry Potter like, but with another world view. I think this is such a good book for that. I know there's a second book also, and I'm definitely going to be reading that, but it was just super magical, super fun. There's a lot of really cool, unique aspects to it too, like the currency that leopard people use is earned by learning things. So if you learn things, the currency will like fall from the sky onto you, and that's how you earn money in this world, which is like such a cool kind of like lesson. It was really, really cool. I think I gave it 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. It was really magical, and I liked it a lot. It was kind of weird. I didn't know if it was really middle grade or YA because it seemed very middle grade, but they also used like a fair amount of curse words, and there was some like violent gore kind of things present in it that I don't really know if are necessarily middle grade, but I really, really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it because it was super fun and magical. And the last book that I read in April is The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey, and it was so good. This is a sci-fi thriller about a clone. So basically, this woman's husband has left her for a clone that he made of her. And she is a scientist who has been working on making clones. And so he basically stole her research, and basically it's a thriller, and things kind of go on from there, and it gets really, really good. it's very research based. She's in her lab a lot, which I really, really liked. I used to work in a research lab in school, and I'd like to maybe go back to school someday. So if anyone has any recommendations of any books that take place primarily in like university research labs, I would love, because that is just really up my alley. But this book was so good. It was really exciting. I loved the sci-fi aspect to it. I gave it a 5 out of 5, and I super highly recommend it. I found this book because I saw it on Spicy Miso Ramen's channel. Her name is Robin, and she reads a bunch of really, really cool sci-fi books, and she was also my first ever subscriber that I ever had, ever. And so I would love if you guys go take a look at her channel. I'll link it down below. But she's also an author, and she's just super cool, and was my first subscriber ever on my channel. So I really like her videos, and I would love if you went and watched it too. And with that, that is the end of my video of everything that I read in April. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye!